we need to show that the vector space V is generated by these three polynomials and the vector space W generated by these two polynomials are equal. That means we need to show that V is equal to W. And when the vector spaces are equal, when the basis for V is equal to the basis for W, right? When their bases are equal, we say that these vector spaces are equal because they are having the same basis, right? So let's get the basis for these two vector spaces. Because here the degree of the polynomial is given to be as 3, and here also the degree is 3, so let's write the basis as x cube, x square, x and 1, right? Let's write the given polynomials for vector space V. So let's say V1 is x cube plus 2x square minus x plus 3, and V2 is equal to 2x cube plus 4x square plus x minus 2, and V3 is equal to 3x cube plus 6x square plus 3x minus 7. Now writing the coordinate vectors of these given polynomials relative to these bases. So coordinate vector of V1 relative to these bases is just writing the coefficients, that is here if I take this as 1. So this is 1, 2, -1 and 3 dash. That is the vector in a column format. Coordinate vector of polynomial V2 relative to the basis B is 2, 4, this is 1 and -2 dash, and then the coordinate vector of V3 relative to the basis B is, yes, 3, 6, 3 and this is -7 dash. Now writing these coordinate vectors in a matrix form, row wise, right? And let's name that matrix to be A. So writing the first coordinate vector in a row, 1, 2, -1, 3. The second one is 2, 4, 1, -2. And third one is 3, 6, 3, -7. Now to get this matrix in a row echelon form, already 1 is written over here. I need to make this as my leading element. So to make 2 and 3 0. Right? Taking the advantage of this 1, applying the row operation as, yes, row 2 needs to be changed and adding its elements to the row 1, but row 1 should be first multiplied with -2, right? So writing the first row as it is because we are going to change the row 2. This is 1, 2, -1, 3. Alright, 1 is multiplied with -2, adding this to 2 we get 0. This is what we need. 2 is multiplied with -2, we get -4, adding this to 4, we get 0. Very fine. -1 multiplied with -2, we get 2, and adding this to 1, we get 3. 3 is multiplied with -2, we get -6, adding this to -2, we get -8. Now to get 0 over here, row 3 needs to be changed and adding its elements to the row 1, but the row 1 should be first multiplied with -3. So 1 is multiplying with -3, we get -3, adding this to 3, we get 0. This is what we need. 2 is multiplied with -3, we get -6, adding this to 6, we get 0. -1 multiplied with -3, we get 3, adding this to 3, we get 6. 3 is multiplied with -3, we get -9, adding this to -7, we get -16. So this becomes our leading element for the first row. To get the leading element for the second row, we need to make this to be as 1 and rest of the elements to be as 0. So to get 1 in place of 3, we just need to change the row 2 by multiplying its elements with 1 over 3. So row 2 is changed by multiplying its elements with 1 over 3. writing the first and third row as it is and multiplying the elements of the row 2 with 1 over 3. So this is 0, 0, 1 and this is minus 8 over 3. Right? Okay. To make this to be our leading element, we need to make this and this to be as 0 now. Right? For that, row 1 needs to be changed and adding its elements to the row 2. But row 2 should be first multiplied with 1 only, right? Okay. So row 1 needs to be changed, adding its elements to the row 2. Row 2 should be first multiplied with 1. Okay. 0 multiplied with 1 we get 0. Adding this to 1 we get 1, no change. 0 is multiplied with 1 we get 0. Adding this to 2 we get 2, no change. 1 is multiplied with 1 and adding this to negative 1 we get 0. This is what we need. Minus 8 over 3 is multiplied with 1, we get minus 8 over 3 and adding this to 3, we get 1 over 3. Writing the second row as it is. And now to get 0 in place of 6. For that, row 3 needs to be changed and adding its elements to the row 2. But row 2 should be first multiplied with negative 6 to get 0 over here. We always take the advantage of the number 1, right? So changing the row 3 and adding its elements to the row 2. But row 2 should be first multiplied with negative 6. 0 multiplied with minus 6 we get 0. Adding this to 0 we get 0. 1 is multiplied with minus 6. Adding this to 6 we get 0. This is what we need. Minus 8 over 3 multiplied with minus 6 we get 16. And adding this to negative 16 we get 0. Very fine. So this becomes our leading element for the second row, right? So this is now our required row echelon form matrix. And writing the basis from here. From the first row, okay, this is the coefficient of x cube. This is the coefficient of x square. This is the coefficient of x. And this is the coefficient of x power 0. That is the constant, right? So writing the basis from the first row, it becomes x cubed plus 2x square plus 0 plus 1 over 3, right? So it is x cubed plus 2x square plus 1 over 3. And the basis from the second row becomes, yes, 0 plus x minus 8 over 3. Because it becomes 0x cubed plus 0x square plus 1 into x minus 8 over 3. So writing this as x minus 8 over 3. So this becomes our basis for v. Now to get the basis for w, let's write those given polynomials in w1 and w2. So w1 is given to be as x cubed plus 2x square minus 4x plus 11, and w2 is given to be as 2x cubed plus 4x square minus 5x plus 14. Now writing the coordinate vectors of these given polynomials relative to the basis, which is x cubed, x square, x1. So coordinate vector of w1 relative to this basis b is 1, 2, negative 4, 11. 1, 2, negative 4, 11, dash. Coordinate vector of w2 relative to the basis b is 2, 4, negative 5, 14. So it is 2, 4, negative 5, 14. This dash implies that this vector is in column format. Writing these coordinate vectors in a matrix form row-wise, and let's name that matrix to be as B. So writing the first vector, that is 1, 2, negative 4, 11. And the second vector as 2, 4, negative 5, 14. To get the matrix in a row echelon form, we need to make this to be our leading element. And already I'm having 1 over here. So just required to make 2 as 0. Taking the advantage of this 1, changing the row 2 and adding its elements to the row 1, but row 1 should be first multiplied with negative 2 to get 0 over here in place of 2, right? So because I need to change the row 2, writing the first row as it is. Okay, applying the operation. 1 is multiplied with -2, we get -2. Adding this to 2, we get 0. 2 is multiplied with -2, we get -4. Adding this to 4, we get 0. -4 multiplied with -2, we get 8. Adding this to -5, we get 3. 11 is multiplied with -2, we get -22. And adding this to 14, we get -8. So this becomes our leading element. Now to get the leading element for the second row, we need to make this to be as 1 and this -4 to be as 0. To get 1 in place of 3, we need to change the row 2, but row 2 should be first multiplied with 1 over 3, so that I can get 1 over here in place of 3. Because I need to change the row 2, so writing the first row as it is, and now applying the operations on the row 2. 1 is multiplied with -2, we get -2. Adding this to 2, we get 0. This is what we need. 2 is multiplied with -2, we get -4. Adding this to 4, we get 0. -4 multiplied with -2, we get 8. Adding this to -5, we get 3. 11 is multiplied with -2, we get -22. Adding this to 14, we get -8. So this becomes our leading element now for the row 1. To get the leading element for the second row, we need to make this 3 to be as 1 and the other element to be as 0. To get 1 in place of 3, row 2 needs to be changed and multiplying its elements with 1 over 3. So writing the first row as it is and applying the operation on the row 2 by multiplying its elements with 1 over 3. So this is 0, 0, this becomes 1 and -8 multiplied with 1 by 3 is -8 over 3. Right? Okay, now required to get 0 in place of -4. For that, row 1 needs to be changed and adding its elements to the row 2, but row 2 should be first multiplied with 4 to get 0 in place of -4. So row 1 needs to be changed. Writing the row 2 as it is. So it is 0, 0, 1, -8 over 3. Applying the row operation on row 1. 0 multiplied with 4, we get 0. Adding this to 1, we get 1. No change. 0 multiplied with 4, we get 0. Adding this to 2, we get 2. No change. 1 multiplied with 4, we get 4. Adding this to -4, we get 0. This is what we need. -8 over 3 multiplied with 4, we get -24 over 3. And adding this to 11, we get 1 over 3. So now this becomes our leading element for the second row. And writing the basis B2 for W, that is from the first row we get basis as, yes, x cubed plus 2x squared plus 1 over 3. And from the second row we are getting, this is 0 into x cubed plus 0 into x squared plus 1 into x minus 8 over 3. So you can write this as x minus 8 over 3. So these are the bases for W. Let's match these bases with basis 1, that is the basis for V. So we are getting basis for W as x cubed plus 2x squared plus 1 over 3 and x minus 8 over 3. Let's check the basis for V. So it is x cubed plus 2x squared plus 1 over 3 and x minus 8 over 3, which is same as that of B2, right? So since basis B1 is equal to basis B2, therefore V and W have same basis. Thus, V is equal to W, right? Both the vector spaces are equal. Hence the result. Thank you.